What is up, viewer out there watching this video? Lovecraft back here, bringing this time a Black Ops 2 gameplay commentary. Yeah, I know I said I'm not going to play Black Ops 2 that much in that last video that I uploaded, but anyways, this is an old Zombies gameplay from January or February, one of those two, and it was a game that I started with my friends, and we started in round 5, and then we just proceeded to continue on. I forgot if it was easy or original difficulty, but for some reason I ended up doing very well, which is strange because I never do good in zombies. I'm actually one of the worst zombie players out there on my friends list. I just played my first buried game earlier today, and I got up to round 2, and then I quit because it was too boring, and I'm not really that much of a zombies guy, so if you play zombies with me, don't expect me to do as good as I did in this gameplay, so yeah. Anyways, I thought that this would be a good gameplay to go with the commentary topic of my choice that I'm going to be explaining about in this video, and that is fear. And fear is something that I actually don't have a good imprint of, I guess, because if you know me in real life, I'm kind of one of those guys that reads a lot of creepypastas. I like scary movies and all that stuff. I stay up late. All those fun little things that regular teenage boys always do. No, just kidding. But anyways, I'm not usually one that gets scared very easily, if I do say so myself. Usually it's hard to scare me, unless you put a pop-up somewhere where I'm not expecting it. But usually, since I read a lot of creepypastas, I go on Reddit No Sleep a lot, I read a lot of these during the day, and I'm perfectly normal, and then usually when night comes, that's when I'm more creative. Let's get creative. Green is not a creative color. That's the time when these stories that I started to read just start to get to me, and studies have even showed that people are more creative during the night, which is probably the biggest reason why I'm recording this video in the daytime. But if I did have a chance, I'd probably record this commentary during the night, so I can get a better explanation of what my thoughts are about this certain feeling that humans get. But then again, if I did record this in the night, the people in the house would probably get mad at me because I'm talking to myself through a microphone into a computer on Adobe Audition at 3 AM in the morning, so I really don't want that to happen. Even though I did do that previously in the past, that was only because a lot of my family members stayed up late and I just stayed up in my room. But anyways, get back to the original topic. Usually what scares me the most, I probably say, is the fear of probably failure, either failure or the unknown, because I know I read it somewhere, or I saw it somewhere, or I heard it somewhere, I don't know. Somebody said the greatest fear that man has, or the strongest emotion that man has, is fear, and the strongest fear that man has is fear of the unknown, which I totally agree with 100%. Whoever said that, I'll probably leave it in the description, because I'm probably going to Google search it after I record this commentary, so yeah. Fear of the unknown, probably the biggest fear that I have besides failure. And one of the reasons why this is one of my biggest fears is because, like, imagine that somebody tells you a scary story that actually happened to them. Something happened and then, like, the spirit or whatever, demon, devil, whatever, who cares, I'm probably going to be scared talking about all this stuff in my living room all alone, but anyways, it's daytime, so I'm not gonna get scared, most likely. But anyways, somebody tells you that this spirit tells the person that's telling you the story something, and then, like, they can't do anything about it. The spirit gives somebody this insight on the future, and it's not gonna be a good future for this person that's telling you this story. And this person tells you that they're not going to give away what this spirit has told them, so it leaves you to wonder what happened. Is he going to die tomorrow? Did he trip on a Lego or something? Tripping on a Lego, that doesn't really make any sense, but anyways, fear of the unknown, that was a really bad example, by the way. Fear of the unknown, probably the biggest fear that I have. If I go into the woods at night, all by myself, I'm probably going to get a little bit creeped out unless there's somebody with me, but then again, I did say alone earlier in the sentence. But anyways, if I'm going to the woods by myself and in the daytime, then I'm probably not going to get scared, but if I'm going at night, then that's the time when werewolves and vampires and ghosts start to come out and all that other creepy stuff. But if I go into the woods with a friend at night, even though it does lower my cognitive abilities, then, well, it does lower them, but I still feel like I'm being watched or something. But if I'm going with a friend at the daytime, there's literally nothing I can worry about. I'm just walking around in the woods, stepping on rocks and all that stuff. Can you find rocks in the woods? I don't know. But anyways, what was I saying earlier? Fear of the unknown. Something else that also scares me a lot is something, or a creepypasta that is associated with death. Not necessarily, oh, Jeff the Killer, he killed the guy and then he was never seen again. Something that can happen to anybody. I read this creepypasta a little bit earlier this month. It was called Die Before You Sleep, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. Ooh, read it at 12 a.m. and you're gonna get a freaking My Little Pony nightmare. That didn't make any sense. It was a creepypasta about these couple of scientists who did this experiment on old people because they wanted to know what actually happens when people die in their sleep. So what happens is, before these old people die in their sleep, they get these brain readings, or these brain readings, as I should say, that they're having a nightmare of some sort. But it's not just any nightmare, it's probably, according to the brain waves and stuff, the worst nightmare that they could have. And one of the men who actually was able to wake up before he died, because he seemed like a resilient man and he was all fearless and stuff. Jack Fearless from NHL, that was a bad reference. The scientist asked this man what happened in his dream because he was having the same brain waves as the other individuals who died right before they died. And he says that it's probably the scariest thing that anybody could ever see. And so, right before he tells the scientists, he collapses and he dies. And then the scientists, what they do is they just abandon the experiment. They take away everything, nothing is shown to the public and all that stuff. But one scientist wasn't satisfied enough. And so years pass, and then this scientist is the same age that, or is an age where, or he's at an age where he can die in his sleep. And so he remembers the old man's words earlier in life about what he said about what happens when you die in your sleep. And then what he does is, one night, the scientist, or the former scientist at least, I think, I'm not sure if it's a former scientist or if he's still a scientist or anything, he goes to sleep, and then he dreams this dream, and then I'm not going to tell you guys this dream because it's actually quite terrifying. And that's where the fear of the unknown comes in. If you don't listen to, or if you don't read the creepypasta, then you're probably not going to find out what happens, and then you're probably going to get scared, and then temptation's going to get you, and you're probably going to want to read this creepypasta. I just lured in everybody into a trap. I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm not going to spoil this dream for you guys. And I'm not going to spoil what happens at the very end. You're going to have to read that if you want. That's going to be in the description. But if you don't read it, fear of the unknown is probably going to get you. But anyways, oh my gosh, it's already 8 minutes and 23 seconds into this video. Wow, I was recording for a very long time and I didn't even know it. So, other things that scare me, creepypastas, not really the bad creepypastas. I love crappy pastas, by the way. Crappy pastas are freaking amazing. The Supermarket Monster, that's probably my favorite crappy pasta of all time. I'll leave a link in the description to that. It's freaking hilarious. I love crappy pastas so much. But creepypastas, those ones are different. It kind of depends on the kind of creepypasta that I am reading. If it's a creepypasta about some monster on the loose and it's all the way down in Mexico and then he eats people and throws them into the Gulf of Mexico, that really doesn't scare me because monsters and spirits are different things in my imagination. Monsters are the kinds of things that have some sort of way to get rid of them. You can shoot a bullet into their brain and then they can die and they explode, sort of like zombies. Oh yeah, zombies. I'll talk about that later in the video. But spirits, those ones are kind of different because unless you're the Ghostbusters, there's probably no real way to get rid of a spirit. Or, of course, have a priest come over to your house, holy water, salt, and all that stuff. I am a religious person, by the way. I believe in Jesus Christ and all that stuff. Anyways, spirits, they're kind of on the edge in my imagination, and whenever I read something like a ritual to play a game where you mess around with a spirit, then usually what happens is I read the instructions and then I think, ooh, this is pretty creepy, and then when I'm sleeping at night, all of those rituals just come back, and then I start to imagine what would happen if I was actually in the position where I did the ritual and then this spirit or whatever came to my house. Scientifically though, no spirit might come to my house, but mentally something might, because adrenaline rushes through your body and all that stuff. I'm not gonna go into this deep scientific explanation about rituals and spirits, but scientifically they might not come, but mentally they will. And zombies. Zombies are kind of a strange thing, because if you take a look at a zombie, then the first thing you're probably gonna notice is the decaying flesh, and then they're limping and all this stuff. And Black Ops 2 zombies really aren't scary at all if you were actually in their position, or because you have a gun and all that stuff. But then again though, if it's a zombie movie, or if it's a zombie and then it's like a sudden zombie apocalypse, then you're probably not going to survive, because zombie apocalypses, sometimes you survive, sometimes you don't. Usually there's always a sequel at the end of a movie when somebody survives a zombie apocalypse. And that's the thing about zombie movies. Usually it's not necessarily about zombies themselves. Zombie movies are about what people do to deal with the zombies, whether it be killing all of them, stopping the plague. I have no idea how anybody's going to do that. But anyway, zombies are kind of one of those things that really don't get on my mind. I really have nothing to know about zombies, besides the fact that they are incredibly slow, and sometimes they can be fast, especially in the Black Ops 2 world. And zombies aren't really that kind of a threat in my mind, because even though I probably will die from them, zombies aren't really the kind of things that will strike fear into my heart, such as a spirit or a really good creepypasta will. But anyways, this video is already 12 minutes and something seconds long, maybe 12, 13, I don't know. And I've been talking for a long time, and the time has actually whizzed by while I was talking. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you troll, like, and not subscribe to Lovecraft 99 Gaming, and bye!